Well, we're back out here in the woods again today. It's July 27th. Calling for a pretty hot day today. The heat indices are supposed to be over 100 this afternoon, so but they are calling for some rain tonight and tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this this poor man plot seeded today, and hope that we get a little bit of rain and then get this thing started here. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and spread some urea, some 4600 on this food plot to give these brassicas a little bit of a boost and try to get them started right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that spread on first, and then we'll go ahead and put the seed on. We're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna put our seed in the ground. Basically what I have here is what we call buzzer beater from my buddy Blake at Pozarski Family Farms. Basically a mixture of some turnips, some clover, and some radishes. So it's a 5-pound bag. It's supposed to do about a half an acre. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure out about half of it. So I just brought a little scale here with me. And as you can tell, I've got about 5 pounds right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this thing up, and obviously 2.5 pounds would be about good for a 1/4 acre. But I'm gonna put a little bit more on, probably an extra pound. I'm probably gonna go 3.5 just because I'm broadcasting it, and not every seed will probably take. Gets us almost 1.5 pounds left, so that'll be about perfect. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and get this spread on. The best way to do this is to walk one direction, say north-south, and then when you're done, go east-west and open your spreader just a small little bit to just get that seed started. It's better to be a little bit too much at the end than to run out. So we're gonna go ahead and spread it on light at first, and then we'll open her up at the end, and hopefully we'll get her all on. All right, well, that's gonna conclude the food plot. Now we just gotta pray for some rain and hope that it germinates. Last thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna set up a camera to see what's been in here. And obviously the deer have been in here. There's some droppings in here, and it looks like the scrape has been freshened up a little bit. It looks like they've been pawing at the ground a little, so that's kind of a good sign. So I'm gonna set this camera up over here on the other side. One thing to keep in mind when you're setting up cameras is always try to face your camera to the north if possible. That way you don't get the afternoon sun and the morning sun. So that just helps get you a little bit better picture, a little bit more crisp, and not a whole bunch of sun glare. So I've got a spot picked out over my shoulder over here that I'm gonna try to set this camera up right behind me, and that'll be able to look over this whole field. It'll point north. So it might be a little far from the scrape stick, but I think we'll be able to get them on camera anyway. So the last thing is these deer have been, I would assume, coming up on the south edge of this food plot. So once they enter the food plot, they should be in the range of the camera to trigger it. So we're gonna go ahead and get that set up, and then call her a day. There's a slight chance for some rain, so I'm gonna try to jump on the opportunity. It's 7:15. I wouldn't normally come into a spot like this at night, but I'm gonna try to get this rain and try to get this last little bit of seed spread on this little food plot that I built this summer. So looks like the turnips and radishes are doing pretty well in here. Got a little bit of grass. I tried spraying for that about a week ago, and it looks like some of it's dying. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some rye seed in here and just pray that we get a little rain tonight. Kind of running down on time, so I'm gonna try to get this done as quick as possible, and then hopefully in a few weeks this will be coming up and we'll be able to hunt this spot. Well, last step is to check the camera here, see what's on it while I'm in here. Well, 284 pictures, that ain't too bad. But I'm gonna get out of here. It's getting to be prime time. Well, we're back out at the food plot, and today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in some rye with the grain drill. I'm gonna try to aim for about 100 pounds an acre. We've got this area here behind me that we're gonna do in all rye, and over this way a little bit farther, we have the fenced off area where a couple weeks ago I put in some brassica blends with some turnips, some radishes, and some rapeseed. I did that with a grain drill, so we're going to go check on that and see how that's doing. We got great rainfall after that. Hopefully get this in the ground. You're not calling for any rain, but I'm running out of time. I start school tomorrow, so I got to get this in the ground because I don't have any other time to do it. So hopefully by planting it maybe an inch, inch and a half deep, there might be a little moisture in the ground. We'll get this to germinate. Final task in today's effort is to put up a scrape stick in the middle of this field so that the deer come and check this thing out at about 20 yards. So as you can see over my shoulder, we've got the camper. I put this mock scrape here with a licking branch over my shoulder about 20 yards or so from the tree stand or from the blind there. So hopefully the deer will come in and check this out and give us a little bit better of a shot. I know Caden took a shot here at 40 yards last year. Had we had this scrape stick here, it might have been a little closer. So anything to bring the deer into range and get an ethical shot. So we're going to go ahead and try this and see what happens. So I'm going to set the trail camera up and see what we got coming to the field. That should be the end of our food plotting season on this area here. All we need is just a little bit of rain to get those food plots going. One thing that I did notice is a lot of acorns this year, so the deer might be in the oaks this year versus on our food plots mid-October. So we may have to change up our strategy just a little bit, but obviously do all this work to put things into place to be successful. So hopefully we can sit over one of those food plots and have some deer come in, and maybe one of our target bucks will show up late October, early November. So stay tuned, and the boys are going to be out in Montana, and they are going to go after some elk this fall. So in a week they're going to be gone, and hope that those guys can have some success out there.